Hey, good morning, FCF. It is day 4 in our journey where we're looking at the subject of, how do we handle slander? How do we handle it when we're spoken of unfairly or in untrue manner? And today we're going to come right to the end of Jesus' life where he's literally standing before the authorities and they're accusing him of all sorts of things. They've already made up their mind about him. They've already made up their mind. They want to destroy him. They want to have him killed. They're just looking for some kind of a means now. So I'm going to pick up reading in Matthew 26 and verse 62. It says, Then the high priest stood up and he said to Jesus, Are you not going to answer? What is this testimony that these men are bringing up against you? But Jesus remained silent. The high priest said to him, I charge you under oath by the living God. Tell us if you are the Christ, the Son of God. Yes, it is as you say, Jesus replied. But I say to all of you, in the future you will see the Son of Man sitting at the right hand of the Mighty One and coming on the clouds of heaven. Then the high priest tore his clothes and said, He has spoken blasphemy. Why do we need any more witnesses? Look now, you've heard the blasphemy. What do you think? He is worthy of death, they answered. Then they spit in his face and they struck him with their fists. Others slapped him and said, Prophesy to us, Christ. Who hit you? So here we see Jesus finally is crystal clear, forthright. They ask him who he is. They ask him if he's the Christ, the Messiah, the Son of God. He says, yes, it's as you say, and you'll see it for yourself. He was talking, of course, about the second coming when he says, you'll see me coming on the clouds with power and so forth. But they had already made up their mind. This is a painful thing to encounter as human beings. They turn on him, they call it blasphemy. He told them the truth, that he is God. He's the Son of God. In their minds, you have to understand, he was equating himself with the Father. He was saying, I'm God the Son. And so they call that blasphemy, and they begin to beat him and so forth. We have a hard time understanding that there are certain people in our lives that it really doesn't matter what we say. It really doesn't matter if we tell the truth. It doesn't matter how we present ourselves or present our case, if you want to look at it like that. Their minds are made up. They're never going to accept what we have to say. They're always going to want to hurt us, do harm to us, and they'll find a way to twist and turn whatever we say. Here Jesus tells the truth and they call it blasphemy. So what was he supposed to say? He had to tell the truth. You may be in one of those situations now. There may be somebody at work that's trying to do you harm at work. It could be somebody in your own family. It could be a friend. But you're in that situation where even when you tell the truth, it's not accepted. Their minds are made up, and all they want to do is find a way to harm you, even if it means that they have to twist the very words that you're saying. This is a very difficult thing to go through, a very difficult thing to live through. And I'm going to go as far as to say, I think it's impossible for most people to go through that is and continue to do good unless they know what it is to commit themselves, like it says in 1 Peter 4:19, to their faithful Creator. You and I have to learn at these seasons in life where we're being falsely accused and slandered and attacked, we have to learn to get along with God. We have to learn to pour out our hearts to Him. It's also great if we have at least one or two safe people in our life that we can, maintain some degree of sanity and balance, because these are very disorienting experiences. And they can turn us bitter very, very quickly. And that's the last thing we want to happen. If we turn bitter, then the slanderous ones and the evil, they have won us over. Remember, 1 Peter says, let me read you that whole verse again. 1 Peter 4:19, it says, So then, those who suffer according to God's will should commit themselves to their faithful Creator and continue to do good. There's one other verse, this is from 1 Peter 5, chapter 5, verse 7, that helps in this same circumstance. It says, Cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. And then in verse 10 of 1 Peter 5:10, it says, And the God of all grace, who called you to His eternal glory in Christ, after you have suffered a little while, will Himself restore you, make you strong, firm, and steadfast. There are times when we have to just process this alone with God and resist the desire to strike back or to continue to try to defend ourselves, because some people, once their minds are made up, it's futile. Jesus was initially silent, and He wouldn't answer them at all because He knew their minds were made up, but then He finally did respond, and of course it just got worse from there. I hope maybe this If it's not helping somebody right now in a situation, perhaps tuck it away in the future. We as followers of Christ are warned to prepare ourselves for rejection, for slander, for persecution, simply because we intend to follow the Creator of the universe. And that's something that's not going to be rewarded always the way we want. Thank you for day 4.